question of the week. Should I shave this off? Hello everyone and welcome to Musings of a Guild Leader, episode number 1, the introduction. My name is Senda, I am the guild leader of Intrepid Society, which is a horde guild on Doomhammer EU. What is this? You might be wondering, who is this guy sitting behind his webcam with his weird little headset thingy on and scruffy looking beard and weird hair and everything? I am a regular gamer, just like everyone else, but I am in charge of a guild, and I decided it would be a fun idea to tape myself once a week and tell you guys, being both outsiders and members of my guild, the guildies, on exactly what's happening. Be it decisions I have to make, the really random or cool stuff that we achieved as a guild, or the way our guild is structured and how stuff works. All of that is interesting to our guildies, obviously, because it gives them an update on stuff that's happening, and it's potentially interesting for outsiders as well, because I sat down and I thought to myself, if I'm going to tape myself and tell about what I'm doing on a weekly basis as a guild leader, but it would be someone else and I would be the outsider, I would probably want to see that, because something like that would interest me. And if it interests me, it would most likely interest other people as well. So I sat down and thought to myself, hell, why not? I'm going to tape this and put it on the public section of our forums for everyone to see. I'm going to do this on a weekly basis to keep everyone up to date. So, episode number 1, the introduction. It's not actually episode number 1, it's episode number 2, because episode number 1 was the pilot, but everyone was really enthusiastic about it, so we're starting it fresh. We're starting it new. This is episode number 1, this is the introduction. So, what am I going to talk about today? I am going to talk about who we are, going to give you a really quick introduction. I'm going to quickly introduce all the officers as well, tell them what they do, so you have a bit of a frame of reference on how our guild functions. Then I'm going to talk about how we handle recruitment, and I'm going to dip into guild leveling and achievements real quick. And then next week we're going to talk about other stuff. So, first, who are we? We are Intrepid Society. We are a serious yet social, or social yet serious, guild on Doomhammer EU. Now, if you're wondering, the fuck is social yet serious? My entire guild vision is on the public section of our website. Follow the link in the info box down there somewhere, and it will lead you to my guild vision. Basically what it boils down to is we have a social guild that caters to the need of every single guildie we have, be it hosting PvP events, hosting raids, or hosting some other stuff that is just fun to take part in. But end of the day, we are a community of people that sit down and just have fun in every aspect of the game. So it's pretty broad and everyone has something. Obviously, in terms of how this stuff is organized, I'm in charge, I'm the guild master, but I don't really organize all that much, because that's what I have officers for. I sit on a perch high up on a mountain, and I look down and I gaze upon my minions as they toil about their work. Well, not really. I talk to my friends who are the officers and ask them, what are you doing? I think to myself, he's doing this and that. Is this in the greater interest of the guild? Does this work towards the common goal of everyone is having fun? Yes or no? And either applaud them for their efforts, tell them they're awesome, or steer them in the right direction. So, who do I have working? We have a raiding officer. This is Merilith. Merilith is awesome. Really, he is. He's harsh, but he's fair. A bit like Judge Dredd, really. He made a post on our forums, which unfortunately isn't viewable for the outsiders, but it is for guildies, so if you're interested in exactly how Merilith runs his raids, info box again, down there somewhere. Then we have an officer for PvP, basically where Merilith organizes raids. Rob Bal, who is our PvP officer, who is ridiculously skilled, by the way. Seriously, Rob, don't ever duel me again, you stab me every single time. Really, really annoying. Rob is in charge of PvP events. He's not actually doing that much at the moment because there's really nothing to do. But come Cataclysm, we're getting raided battlegrounds. Now Rob is going to assemble a team, much like Meredith is assembling a raid group, and he's going to pwn face in battlegrounds, basically. Apparently I'm coming along, and apparently I have to learn quite a bit in order to be effective. But hey, that's a challenge, so I'm up for that. Where Rob is doing that, Wark is in charge of our guild bank. He's my accountant, and I love him for it. This is the man that told me last week, Sen. I'm like, yeah, Work, what's up? We made 23.8% profit on the guild bank in 1 week. Holy shit. And he's like, I'm seriously, man, I'm working on flowcharts. Awesome. Because that's what you want. You want officers that are committed and having fun at what they do. Which brings me to the next point, and our last officer, but certainly not least, Chimera, who is in charge of the guild website. And as you can see, he's doing a pretty good job at it. He's hosting all kinds of stuff. He has these little tool thingies that he's working on. He's actually working on mediating this with some of his friends to maybe get something where we can actually get a live feed on achievements that are being gotten by guild members. How awesome would that be? Right now though, he's limiting himself to hosting up the front page of the website, making sure everything's up to date, and telling the outsiders, which is you guys out there and our guildies, about all the awesome stuff that's happening in our guild. And that's the officer cater. It's me and 4 officers that sort out everything. We are not in charge so much as we are in service to the guild, and that's the way we all see it, because we are here to serve the greater goal of the guild, which is everyone having fun. The way we get enjoyment out of this is the fact that every officer that I handpicked for the fact that what they do, the mere fact of hosting it, and seeing the appreciation of people that take part in it, that's what they get enjoyment out of. And that single focus will keep them going. And that's why I have them in those roles. You guys are awesome. Next, recruitment. Really big thing, always recruitment. Recruitment is interesting because every single guild does this in a separate way. We do it in a rather standard way. We have a forum. If you want to be part of our guild and the awesome group of people that it is, you post an application. And in this application, you basically tell us who you are. What kind of person are you? Are you social? Are you hardcore? Are you a raider? Are you PvP? Are you one of those nutcases that browses the auction house for maximum profit? We don't really care, but we want to know who you are. Because if we don't know, if you don't tell us, we can't judge if you would fit in or not. Based on that, based on how awesome your application is, and you can check out a guide on how to do a proper application in the info box down there, guildies will give feedback on that, and then end of the day I make a call on whether or not to accept you as a trial member of our guild. Trial membership lasts for 1 month, and it basically is 1 month for you to take the time to get to know people within a guild, mingle a bit, take part in some events left and right, and see where it leads you. See if either you get along really well with everyone, or maybe you get into a fight with some people and I have to kick you out because you are not that awesome. But that hasn't happened before. So, that's basically how we handle recruitment. Pretty straightforward. If you want more information, again, it's down in the info box below. Now, last part of the first episode that I'm going to talk about, because I see that I'm running short on time already, is guild leveling and achievements. Right now, as it stands, a guild in WoW is a community of people, as it always has been. Different goals, different purposes, but for a simple social guild, there's not really that much except the simple notion of having fun. Now with Cataclysm this is going to change, because we're going to have not a new focus, not a new goal, because it's still going to be having fun, but Blizzard is giving us a rather nice tool to use to measure fun. And this tool is called achievements. Now, you've already seen achievements on your own character. Everyone knows how they work. In Cataclysm, a guild can get achievements. And every single scientific thing that you see about achievements will tell you that achievements is a way to measure fun, basically. So the more achievements people get, the more fun they're having, generally speaking. And this is a pretty big generalization. Why don't you think about this and discuss it down in the thread below? Give us your feedback. Do you agree to that standpoint? Are achievements a way to measure fun, yes or no? Personally, I think they are. Personally, as well, I think they're means to an end to see how successful this guild is going to be. So that's what I'm going to measure it by. Which brings me to the point where I made a thread on our forums, again, down in the info box, where people can see how the achievements and guild leveling system will work in Cataclysm. And we're going to use that to measure successfulness within our guild. At least I'm going to be. And on a weekly basis I'm going to update you guys on how we do. That's it for our first episode. Gave you a basic insight as to how we operate as a guild. Next week I'm going to talk about completely different things. I'm going to give you guys an update on what's happened the past week. See you all next week. Bye bye.